Hebrew brothers and sisters. I'm coming before you just to reiterate the importance of rededication. I would say in the last 3 videos, I've been going over and over showing examples of how our forefathers, ancestors, rededicated themselves back to Yah. And as we're seeing these turmoils that is happening, and we're seeing exciting times from the solar eclipse that's bound to happen on our great Sabbath. I believe we should be rededicating ourselves. I know I do every day if I can. And the reason that is because, believe it or not, we are in captivity. And we're in this state because we didn't follow the promise. So rededication is a sign of us saying we're going to come back to the covenant. We're going to come back to these laws and we're going to follow them. And we've done this several times before. And I'm going to go over scriptures about how we have done this several times before. And just as the Most High promised, he told us we come back to the covenant. He's going to come. He's going to save us because Yah is our Messiah. Yah is our King. And so I'm going to go over how Yah actually sees us. And I'm going to take us to Zechariah 3:1-3. And I'm only doing this because we have to understand that the heathen has created all types of snares and traps in this captivity. And from the foods we eat, the heathen defiled it, purposely defiled our foods. Look at the GMO, genetically modified foods that we're eating, foods that don't have seeds in them. They have purposely done this so that we'll always remain and look abominable to Yah, consuming foods that have been genetically modified. Then look at the media that we consume. Whether we unknowingly or knowingly consuming it, we're even consuming media that is defiled. And this to ensure that we remain abominable to Yah at all times. But Yah understands, and as we begin to rededicate, it appears that the remnant has turned to Yah because we're seeing the turmoil, just as Joel told us we will see from the time that he will make the heathens come down into into Jehoshaphat. So we're seeing these are some exciting times, brothers and sisters. So I just wanted to go over rededication because that's what we should be focusing on, regardless of what we see and how we see things. And as we're rededicating ourselves back to Yah, I'm going to go over how our ancestors rededicated themselves, because what we've been told and how we've been instructed has been a complete lie. And so I want to show you from the scripts just how we rededicated ourselves back to Yah. And again, as long as we have breath in our body, we have time to still rededicate ourselves back to Yah, regardless of what we have done, regardless of how abominable we look. We still have time, as long as we have breath in our body, to rededicate ourselves back to Yah. So I'm going to read from Zechariah 3:1, and this is how the Most High see his high priest. And he's using Joshua, but as we know, the high priests, which are the Levites, they are in captivity with us. And so not just the tribe of Judah that looks abominable, but the high priest looks abominable. So here we go. Then he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of Yah, and Satan standing at his right side hand to accuse him. So why is Satan accusing him? Because guess what? He set up the captivity to always be defiled. He set up the captivity for us to always be abominable. So yeah, he gonna have a lot of accusations, and he have every right, because guess what? We don't make nothing on our own. We don't grow things on our own. We can barely supply our needs because Deuteronomy 28 told us that we were gonna have to depend on some wicked people to provide us everything. So they've made everything that they provide us defiled. From the clothes we wear, they've mixed and mingled the fabrics. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on as to how the heathen has purposely created accusations, because he made our captivity very, very defiled. Okay. And so Yah said to say, Yah rebuke you, O Satan. Yah, who has chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you. Is not this a brand plucked from the fire? Now Joshua was standing before the angel clothed with filthy garments. So guess what? Right now, even as I'm reading you these scripts, we're clothed in filthy garments. We may have on something clean that we put in our wash machine today, but guess what? They defile the washing powder. So even when you wash your clothes, you may be washing your clothes with defiled products in that washing powder. You know? So we look very bad to y'all right now, y'all. But at the end of the day, we can still rededicate ourselves, because guess what? He's giving us signs in the sky, and he's giving us a sign with the heathens and all their confusion. I'm going to go over that too. So I just want to just bring this and just say it's time for us to rededicate. If you haven't done so, if you've done so years ago or the beginning of the year, or because I know we just came through the atonement process, so I get that. But for those who did not follow the atonement, listen, we can still rededicate. We can still rededicate. It's not too late. So I'm going to jump over to 2 Chronicles 20:22 through 23, because this is what happens as we begin to turn our face to Yah. The Most High bring down a spirit of confusion to the heathen. And so this is why I say this is another sign. Beyond that solar eclipse, the confusion that's among the heathen is an awesome sign that the remnant is turning back to Yah wholeheartedly. And I'm just excited. I am just excited. And I just want us to be ready and be rededicated to Yah, so we could just be able to make it to where he promised us and come out of this oppression. So I'm going to go into 2 Chronicles, and I said 20:22 to 23. So it says, when they began to sing and praise Yah set an ambush against the men of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, who had come against Judah, so that they were routed. For the men of Ammon and Moab rose against the inhabitants of Mount Seir, devoting them to destruction. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Seir, they all helped to destroy one another. And see, this is how y'all deliver. See, because guess what? He controls the mind. He's telepathic. I got scriptures for that too. It's in Jeremiah where he tells us he's telepathic. So at the end of the day, Yah is in control, y'all. Everything that's around us, from this captivity that he put us in, to the signs, to, like I said, to the presidents that he choose, down to everything that's happening before us right now, Yah is in control of everything. And it is important that we follow the Torah to the T, to where he has instructed us, because that is what is important to him. And if we want to be with Yah, be in his presence, and we want to come out of this oppression, we have to follow what the book says. We cannot follow what we want. What we wanted has landed us here today in this oppression. So I'm going to go over to Isaiah 14, and this is where it's going to really get really interesting, because I'm going to show you how I study, and the fact that a lot of times my studying comes from my book cross-referencing to certain scriptures, but at the same time it also comes from me reading, because sometimes the cross-references that I may include may not always be something that the book cross-reference. But like I said, because Yah has given me an eye to see, I'm able to see the puzzle pieces. But I'm going to show you how, if you were to get you a digital Bible, you can actually do a little bit of studying on your own, and also cross-reference to the scriptures that confirm what Yah has said throughout the Tanakh and throughout Torah, because that's what the cross-references are doing. They're actually just confirming his word, where he said something 2, 3, maybe 5 times, and when he says it, it's been established. So that's what I'm going to do for you all today. And like I said, this is an on-time word for us to just rededicate ourselves, because we are in some exciting times. And so we're going to go to the restoration of Jacob. For For Yah will have compassion. Thank you, Yah, for compassion. For Yah will have compassion on Jacob and will again choose Israel. Ain't that what he did in Zechariah? He rebuked Satan from Joshua. See, he gonna choose us again, folks. And we'll set them in their own land and sojourners, which are the strangers. So if you click on here, I'm going to show you a cross-reference because he's showing us cross-referencing back into Zephaniah. But again, the cross-references sometimes pull in that new trash man because they're always trying to trick us to be into idolatry. But I promise you, we just stay in the Torah and you'll be just fine because that's what Yah talks. That's what he gives us his prophecies, and that's what he's bringing everything to pass is from the Old Testament. Nothing from the new trash man. All right, will join them and will attach themselves to the house of Jacob. And they have attached themselves quite well. Some have married us and some of them have born children with us. And I tell you, they have done that. The Gentiles, they are crafty from the core. They are very, very crafty. And he goes on, he says, and the people will take them and bring them to their place. The house of Israel will possess them in Yah's land as male and female slaves. And if you click here, it shows you slaves meaning servants. They will, and when you click here, it goes into Joel 3 and 8. So this is where Joel is confirming what Isaiah 14 has already established. He says, I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the people of Judah, and they will sell them to the Sabians, to a nation far away, for Yah has spoken it. But again, to complete Isaiah 14 and 2, they will take captive those who were their captors. See, who that leadeth into captivity will go into captivity. This is what they're talking about. And this is what Yah will do, because he told us this in Jeremiah 30. How we've been their captives. We've been their captives this whole time. Even though they make it seem as though we're not, but we have been. We've been paying taxes and inflation. We have no choice. We have to have IDs to travel. We have no choice. Okay? And who captors and rule over them. And this goes into Isaiah 60 and 14. And I don't mean to quit, to stop my train of thought from Isaiah 14, but I'm just showing you how the book cross-references to other scriptures to show you where Yah has established the matter in other scriptures. He's established the matter in other scriptures, okay? The sons of those, Isaiah 60 and 14, the sons of those who afflicted you shall come bending low to you, and all who despise you shall bow down at your feet. They shall call you the city of Yah, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. And of course, they're trying to defile the name Israel today as well. As we see, they have everybody hating the group that poses themselves. And so we're not going to get into that because I don't want my video to be short, but we see they have defiled everything about us, from our music to our clothes, food. Everything about us, they have defiled it. And they've done a great job at it. And that's why, like I said, Zechariah 3, 1 through 3 shows you how we look before the Most High. That's how we look. That's how we look. There's no other way around it. So even if you didn't have sinning, before you was awakened to becoming knowing that you was Hebrew, you still look defiled before the Most High, because we've been in this defiled captivity. So we look defiled, folks. And they will take captives those who were their captors and rule over those who oppress them. And like I said, this is the greatest oppression. This is it. This is the final oppression. But we've been in oppression this whole time. And so I'm going to read on. I'm going to skip down, and you can read the rest, on your time. But I just wanted to skip down and show you how the scriptures are cross-referenced, especially if you have a digital book. Even if you have a printed book. The printed book, I believe the cross-references are in the corner, like in columns on the pages. But in the digital, you could click on certain underlined asterisk words and stuff like that, and it'll cross-reference scriptures. So the restoration of Jacob. So I'm going to go on down to 14, and I'm going to read from 16 through 17. Okay? And then it says here, those who see you will stare at you and ponder over you. Is this the man? And I'm going to click on thee because we want to know where is this scriptures cross-referencing to. But it says, is this the man who made the earth tremble, who shook kingdoms, who made the world like a desert and overthrew its cities, who did not let its prisoners go home? And as we see who is the main manufacturer of all these gadgets that's been making deserts, as he dropped fire from the sky and leveling buildings. We see who's the main manufacturer of all of that. You cannot deny who's the main manufacturer of these how can you put it, contraptions that has been dropping fire and leveling out buildings, killing families, killing generations, all in one building. And so when you click on it tells you, because Jeremiah goes into the man too. And he describes who this man is. And this man, it says from Jeremiah 50:23, how the hammer of the whole earth is cut down and is broken. How Babylon has become a horror among the nations. And so who taunt themselves as being the hammer of the earth? That they have to create nails to be a hammer around, the world. And when they say they create nails, meaning they create problems so they can have a reason to go fix it, because that's how they rule. They rule with making chaos and bringing order out of chaos. It's on the money. They tell you that. The hidden hand tells you that they bring order out of chaos. All right. And so when you pull up the hammer, and again, they've made some of the top generals have made quite a few statements about creating nails so that they could be a hammer around the whole earth. But we're not going to focus on this man because we already know who this man is. We've been knowing for some time. And at the end of the day, the Confederacy that they created from Psalms 83 is now about to be broken in sunder. Because they have all been Confederate. So not one nation I could look at and say they have been kind and gentle to us. I could look at all types of complaints I've put in with these so-called higher institutions, and I would see Wong Pong name as the director saying he wasn't going to give me no justice. Or I could look at, some type of unjust call on a particular job, and I would see Raheed Sheed name at the bottom as the director saying they ain't gonna do something, they're not going to pursue or further help me with the issue or make it right. So at the end of the day, all these nations being Confederate, even if you could say, well, I don't live across sea. At the end of the day, all those nations have come over here to this land and has been your reporting managers. All these nations from over there has come over to this land and has been your operation managers. All those nations, because I work with them. I work with them in a software company. So all those people come over here and then they become your CEO, your CFOs, your, like I said, reporting managers. So at the end of the day, you work with these people and you know exactly how they are, how they treat you, how they feel. So all of them have been Confederate. Even the nicest of the nice ones have been Confederate. So I mean, it is what it is. They've, made their bed, they have to lie in it. So I'm going to go on and move to how we should rededicate, because this is not about speaking on other nations. This is about how Jacob can rededicate, during this important time of the transition, because we're transitioning, folks. I don't know if you feel it. I don't know if you see it, but we're transitioning. And to be honest, these people have been erroneously, because they got people that don't know how to do accounting. They've been erroneously sending out money. And I don't know if they purposely doing it or if it's just they just trying to get cursed money off their books. But they've been erroneously sending out checks, and I've been getting them. And I have to, because I don't want to have what we call wrongdoing on my hand. So I'm honest with the folks, and I let them know whether that's money belong to me or not. But at the end of the day, that's just what they're doing. They're trying to get this, because they see and they feel the curses switching to them. But let's rededicate ourselves, Hebrew brothers and sisters, back to Yah, because that's what we need to be doing so we can come out of this oppression. Okay, so we're going to go over to Nehemiah, because I went over in the prior video of how King Josiah did the rededication. And then I'm going to go over here to Nehemiah, to where how Nehemiah 10, and I don't want to click on Nahum, so I'm looking. Let's see here. Here we go. Nehemiah 10, and go to 28 through 39. So this is a lot of reading, but this is going to give us instructions on how the entire tribe of Israel rededicated themselves back to Yah. All right, so the rest of the people, the priests, the Levites, the gatekeepers, the singers, the temple servants, and all who have separated themselves from the peoples of the land to the law of Yah, their wives, their sons, their daughters, all who have knowledge and understanding. So this rededication comes with all who have knowledge and understanding. Join with their brothers, their nobles, enter into a curse and an oath to walk in God's and Yah laws that was given by Moses, the servant of Yah, and to observe and do all the commandments of Yah, our Elohim, and his rules and his statutes. We will not give our daughters to the people of the land to take their daughters for our sons. And if the people of the land bring in goods or any grain on the Sabbath day to sell, we will not buy for them on the Sabbath or on a holy day. And we will forego the crops of the 7th year and the exaction of every debt. And we also take on ourselves the obligation to give yearly a third part of shekel for the service of the house of our Yah. Okay, so you see what a shekel is. 2/5 ounce of 11 grams. For the showbread, the regular grain offering, the regular burnt offering, the Sabbaths, the new moons, and appointed feasts, the holy things, and the sin offerings to make atonement for Israel and for all the work of the house of our Elohim. We, the priests, the Levites, and the people have likewise cast lots for wood offering to bring it into the house of Yah, according to our father houses at time appointed year by year, to burn on the altar of Yah, our Elohim, as is written in the law. We obligate ourselves to bring the first fruits of our ground and the first fruits of all fruit of every tree year by year to the house of Yah. Also to bring to the house of our Yah, to the priests who minister in the house of our Elohim, the firstborn of our sons and of our cattle, as is written in the law, and the firstborn of our herds and of our flocks, and to bring the first of our dough and our contributions, the fruit of every tree, the wine and the oil, to the priests, to the chambers of the house of our Elohim, and to bring to the Levites the tithes from our ground. He didn't say money, for it is the Levites who collect the tithes in all our towns where we labor. And the priest, the son of Aaron, shall be with the Levites when the Levites receive the tithes. So that's like a tax collector. And the Levites shall bring up the tithe of the tithes to the house of Elohim, to the chambers of the storehouse. For the people of Israel and the son of Levi shall bring the contribution of grain, wine, and oil to the chambers where the vessels of the sanctuary are, as well as the priests who minister and the gatekeepers and the singers. We will not neglect the house of our Elohim. And so that is the rededication. And nowhere in this rededication did they use any type of baptism, no water, none of that. They basically came back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. And they made it to where they said we were going to start from this day forth doing these laws, doing these commandments. And y'all accepted this. He accepted this rededication to come back to the laws, folks. So I know it sounds like we should be doing a lot more, but that's between you and y'all and what you do. But he lays out examples of how we rededicate ourselves back to him. And true enough, many of us have done this. As I said before at the start of this video recording, we see a lot of signs and a lot of confusion amongst the heathen. And this is a great thing, because that means our oppression is almost over, folks. And I'm excited. Because when we came out of that first Exodus, what did they do? They gave all the Israelites something. The Israelites received something when they was exiting out of Egypt. And so, like I said, the signs are here, and great things are to be done. And I'm just excited. I'm excited. And so, as we're also rededicating ourselves, I'm going to leave you all with this one scripture. And I'm going to go, two scriptures. I'm going to go to Habakkuk 2:2-3, about writing the vision. And I've done this before. Before I was awakened, I've written down some things, and then I went back and I saw that y'all even accomplished some of those things on that list. And true enough, I was amazed, but I didn't understand. I understood writing the vision, but I didn't understand, why y'all was, honoring that list. But now that I'm awakened to is Yah, he's our king, he's our Messiah, and he's going to bestow a promise he made to David. And that's my next video. And I hate to be, talking about it, because I don't know if y'all's going to allow me to produce that video. But my next video is to bring out King David and some attributes about him. And the prayer that King David actually asked the Most High. The King David said a prayer to the Most High, and the Most High gave him a promise. And so that's why King David is going to be over us when the Most High bring us out of this captivity. Y'all's going to bring us out of this captivity, and then he's going to give it to King David, so King David can be a ruler over us. And then I'm going to go a little bit, I'm not going to do it in this video, but I'm just sharing just some little tidbits, because King David made a prayer, and he asked for a little small portion of rulership, but the Most High promised him more. So it's exciting times to see King David, come back and everything, and to see y'all come down and do his thing. This is exciting times, folks. These are exciting times. And I am just, I'm just glued. I'm glued to YouTube because I'm just looking for just bizarre stuff to just happen. I'm expecting some great things to happen. So I'm going to go over here to Habakkuk, or Habakkuk. Some people call it Habakkuk, 2:2-3. And so just bear with me here as I try to understand the abbreviations of this. So he says here, and y'all answered me. Well, I'll go up to 1, just so you can get a context of what he's talking about why even y'all is even speaking to Habakkuk or Habakkuk. All right, so I will take my stand at my watch post and station myself on the tower and look out to see what he will say to me and what I will answer concerning my complaint. And don't we all have complaints? I know every person that listened to this video, we got complaints. So what the Most High said we got to do with these complaints. He said, the righteous shall live by his faith. And y'all answer me, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. And like I said, before I was awakened, I had even written down some things where I wanted the Most High to make my life debt free. And surely, as it slowly, the Most High had given me some forgiveness of some loans, and it's just slowly coming to pass. Even when I have forgotten about the list, but he's slowly bringing it to pass. I even asked the Most High for, offspring in my marriage that I once had, and he brought that to pass. So the Most High is still honoring what he told us to do. As long as we're following the laws, statutes, and commandments, he gonna follow the vision. He told us, to write things down, and we should be writing things down because these are some exciting times. He's not just punishing the wicked folks. He's answering our prayers, people. He is answering our prayers, and these are exciting times to be writing things down and bringing it before the Most High. So, we'll write it in righteousness, but he'll answer those prayers. I'm a living testimony. He will answer those prayers. He will answer your vision. And so I'm going to leave you all on this note, and because I try not to make these videos too long. And the final note is Psalms, and this is becoming my favorite one to have as an outro, I suppose, to end my videos with. But Psalms 20:1-5, and it says here, may Yah answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of Yah of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and give you support from Zion. May he remember all your offerings and regard you with favor, your burnt sacrifices. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all your plans. May we shout for joy over your salvation in the name of Yah. Set up banners. May Yah fulfill all your petitions. And we're going to celebrate with you. That's for sure. So I say, shalom, shalom, and be strong.